What's going on, y'all? It's School. We back with another episode, School and Game Podcast. It's been a minute, but we here. It's 2022, and yeah, we ready to get to it. How y'all doing? How the New Year treating y'all so far?
Been pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
You want
man.
You want to tell the people where Till's at? Since there's only three of us today.
Yeah, man. Tills is too busy drinking mimosas today, man. He's still on brunch right now, so
he went to the spot that had the endless drinks. So
Kid said we asked him could he pod today. He said we say whenever you want or something like that.
I'm around whenever.
Oh, he said I'm around whenever.
So what time today? Like we good for the day? Like, yeah, I'm around whenever. Like, all right. So then I was like, all right, let's do one. He's like, nah, what you mean? Like, y'all crazy. Whenever mean whenever. Like
exactly.
Whenever mean you are available whenever we decide.
We gave him a whole nother hour and he's like, man, y'all just go ahead. I knew that was coming.
A whole nother hour. I definitely took advantage. Took a nap. I said, let me get my nap in real quick. Baby sleep. My guy said, no, whenever means whenever, bro.
He thought whenever was gonna be later.
Yeah, like exactly. you could have just said later.
Right. It's funny.
It's funny, man. It's all good. We here. Gonna get into it, man. It's been a little minute.
Before we get into topics, can I ask one question real quick?
Yeah.
So I put on TikTok the other day a little video about pizza, right? And saying that New Haven had the best pizza, better than Jersey, better than Chicago, Boston, New York, whatever. And the only couple of people that had to say something was a couple of New Yorkers. So Biz, as a New Yorker, what are your thoughts? Like, who has the best pizza? I'm assuming you're gonna say New York.
Nah, New Haven does.
Really? I'm surprised. Most New Yorkers will not.
The only thing I like about New York pizza is that the slices are bigger, and they're much more to come by because there's pizza spots everywhere in New York. But the slices are bigger in New York, but New Haven definitely got the best pizza. Like I learned that lesson kind of early when I moved to Connecticut. My father was like, "Yo, y'all was trying to get pizza?" Like, yeah, what's up? And then I was like, "Nah, this is it." And you go back. I think part of it is so accessible in New York. Like I was saying, like there's a spot it's a Chinese spot every corner, there's a pizza spot every corner, or bodega, whatever corner store, whatever term you want to use, every corner. Everything's so accessible. It's not like Connecticut is kind of exclusive in a way. Like you kind of gotta get to the spot early or put your order in early because if you get there too late, whatever, it's a wrap.
Get there midday, you in line for about 3 hours.
You might be in line till tomorrow. You might well. But nah, I learned that pretty early. That New Haven is hands down. Like I don't go to New York and be like, I got a quick slice. I'm gonna go get a slice of pizza. Like that's not what I go to New York for.
I mean, I definitely understand. New York pizza to me it's good. I think the biggest thing is like New Haven. It's kind of hard to find somewhere you can just go get a slice. Like you got to pretty much get a whole pizza.
Right, yeah, and I think that's part of why New Yorkers might think that is better because you could just go get one versus the exclusivity that I was talking about.
Yeah, so New York, you could kind of pull up and get a good slice, like a lot of places, and not have to wait. If you want a whole pizza, like you want to enjoy a night of pizza, whatever, like I think New York, Connecticut in particular.
Like I don't know if it's still there. There was this one spot down the street from where I used to live at that had like you even have to go in the spot. You could just ask for the slice in the window. I don't know if that was designed because niggas was wilding and all that shit, but you could just go to the window and get a slice and you get like it had a tiny ices at the same spot too. So I don't know. I haven't been down to that spot in a while, but I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I think I asked you this before at school. Have you been able to find any good pizza like out in LA?
Well, when I was still eating dairy, like I found there's like a few spots out here, but it don't hit like how it do back east. Like back home, I tell people all the time. Like I know people from Chicago, New York, everywhere, and I'll be like, "Yo, New Haven got the best pizza," and they always look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, and I ain't even never been to Chicago or had pizza from there, so, and I'm still telling them like, yo, New Haven pizza better than y'all. Like, and it's actually I know somebody out here. I know somebody out here from LA. They was like, yo, I've been to New Haven before. It was like pizza fire. Like it's a few people that know. I'm like, if you know, you know. But
facts.
Yeah, LA ain't really. They're not known for pizza out here. Like they be thinking they know, and I just be like, nah.
Yeah, that's what I never really thought about it, but like, what is LA known for? Like, is it the Spanish food? Because I know it's like a real heavy like Mexican population. I know the Mexican food's supposed to be good.
Yeah, so the way we see like pizza spots or like Chinese spots out back home, like you see like Mexican spots on every block. You see the food trucks, like they lines be looking like how Pepe's lines be looking like the Mexican food out here. That's the spot. And then I think I would say probably seafood is next out here.
I mean, you're on the coast. That makes sense.
And like they big on like ramen and pho out here, like the Korean food and stuff like that. So
interesting.
Oh, so San Fran over in Oakland, that's a big Asian population out there too. In that area.
I ain't been up that way yet.
Lord willing, I'll be out there in May, hopefully. San Fran.
Right.
You know what, yo? We should take the pot on the pizza tour, y'all. Just like pizza spots.
Let's do it. I'm around. I mean,
might be kind of lit.
Yeah. Have to do it like everybody got to kind of chip in because we are so far apart. If we can get Tails to whatever. Anywho.
Skip brunch.
Just tell him we gonna have mimosas, man. He gonna be there.
But yeah, that was just a quick question I had about pizza.
All right, well, shit. I mean, we could get into it, man. I don't know if y'all saw that video with Mike Todd.
I just watched it right now when you brought it up. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. I know it's kind of old, but I just feel like we had to touch on it right quick because that was it was gross, man. I get he was trying to make a message, but it was just like that wasn't the way to do it. And I know that was his brother. His brother agreed to it.
That's still nasty.
Well,
yeah.
For the people that don't know exactly what happened, what exactly did he do?
So basically, him and his brother. He's up there with his brother, and he's basically comparing the situation to the story in the Bible when Jesus rubs spit on the guy's eye and basically helps him see. And he's talking about that, how, you might go through some things and it might be, I'll use the word disgusting. You might go through some disgusting things in life or whatever, but, once you go through it basically brings you a better situation. And and I understand him trying to deliver that story in person, but it's just the way he did it. Like, he brung up all the mucus and phlegm and everything and just like, it was just like, he was really trying to clear his system. And then he just like rubbed it on his brother's face. I'm just like, dog, like, that's nasty, man.
That's nasty.
It's nasty though. Like it's
and I get it, but like I can see, dog. Don't put no spit on my face, bro. I can already see you. Like, I'm good. I get the message behind it, but like I can already see. Like, let's do something else. Like, it's COVID out here.
Exactly, man.
And even before COVID, that still was nasty. Like,
yeah. He could have used like water and representation of it, and then I mean, like it could have went so many different ways, but it just, I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. Even before COVID, that was nasty. Now with COVID and all the variants and just how, I don't know, it makes me cringe to watch him do it. I literally was cringing as I was, even though I knew it was coming. But I was cringing.
It was real cringy, bro.
Like, COVID don't discriminate. Like, COVID don't care if that's your brother or not. Like.
Right.
Now you potentially it's not
now y'all blood brothers and COVID brothers.
Yeah,
and I think it's a generation of like younger pastors that are trying to preach to younger audiences, and like I still consider us kind of young, we are like more visual learners, so like they always try to put stuff in the sermon so like we could see it happen, but you got to make better decisions. Like it's just a bad decision. It's other ways you could do that. So I don't know.
Like I'm not coming back. Now that I saw that, I'm not coming back. But that's a risk that he took. Like I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought that way. Like somebody's like, nah, I don't want to see that. That probably turned off a lot of people. You know, we say it in joking, but if you want to get really sick, like that turned me away from it. Like, and it was crazy. I was just in the store maybe the week before or 2 days before, and I saw one of his books. I think it's called Crazy Faith or something like that.
I actually got one of them. Kendra bought me one of them for Christmas. Oh yeah, that's what's called.
Right, Crazy Faith. Yeah, I saw it in the store, and I read the back of it. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, they actually, I saw it in the store, and then I was on IG later that night, and then she had posted, her like a passage of it or something like that. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like I just let me know how it is, because I started to pick it up, but then I had put it down. She's like, yeah, I'll let you finish it. And then the next day that came out. I was like, it's like the heat. Like,
yeah, and I think there's gonna be people like us that people in this church probably that have similar mindsets to us. Like that was a bad decision, so that's gonna make me question some of his other decisions. And do I really feel comfortable following someone who is going to do all of that just to prove a point when there was much more sensible ways to do it? Like, is that somebody I want leading me?
No,
I get that.
That's 100%.
Because
that image is always that's imprinted in my head now. Like it's like when you do something wild stupid and then make the news. What you do is type it in. That was wild stupid. Yo. But you type it into Google, and that's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like people searching him are gonna
what your links are.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of the top things when you probably type his name in, as opposed to some of the probably great messages that he's taught over the course of time, because people just want those viral moments. And like I was saying in school earlier, like his stuff comes up on the timeline here and there, and I've never seen anything crazy, but I've never really took the time to really listen to him. And now my judgment is just kind of skewed just based on that one video. Like it's unfortunate, but it only takes one thing to like affect people's perspective on you.
It's like it makes you want to go back and rewatch some things and be like, let's see what he really was doing or saying.
Yeah, for sure.
So wild stupid though.
Wild stupid. It's not. It wasn't dumb stupid. It was wild stupid.
That reminded me of that dude that was that video, the snowstorm today that we saw.
Yeah, I love my hometown so much, yo.
Yeah, you gotta love New York, man. It's shit funny, man.
Like I wasn't out there yesterday, but I feel like if I was in the city, I definitely would have had my Nike tech on. With the Timbs, of course. You know.
That's another reason why I wanted Tills on the episode, because they've been getting a good amount of snow down there. I wanted to see like how the people are reacting, how they acting down there. All we see up here is like wild accidents. Nobody know how to drive in the snow, freaking out over like an inch of snow. So to have somebody that's there and experiencing it, I was interested to see what he had to say about, mimosas come first.
Oh, absolutely.
It must not be that bad if he outside. So.
Right. It wasn't. It was like we tell him all the time, but it ain't nowhere near. He's from the Northeast, so he know. But mimosas definitely come first, bro.
Yeah, if he having mimosas, man, he got there safe.
He got there safe enough.
Nah, facts. Man.
What you were saying before? What we were saying before about the one viral moment? I think that's a good way to segue into the next thing that we was talking about. It's been going around a lot of women in particular saying, Black men shouldn't be podcasting anymore. They're trying to cancel a lot of Black male podcasts, and that's off of single podcasts having certain viral moments and saying crazy thing about women, and now they're like, nah. Yeah, none of y'all men need a podcast anymore. All y'all do is use it to, degrade women and say crazy stuff. So, what do y'all think about that? The cancel Black male podcast movement that's happening.
Shut it down. Nah, that's crazy. Like we're going back.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Right, for real. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I could be doing much better things. Nah, but Like you said earlier, it takes one thing for people to search, put in that search bar, and it pops up, and that drives, controversy, whatever. Like for those two to go on and degrade Black women the way they did, and chastise them like that, like it's just uncalled for and unnecessary. Like going back to Mike Todd's thing, like it's ways to get your message across if that's what you want to, take part in. Like you don't have to do it in a disrespectful way, degrading way. You don't have to bash. You don't have to do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they went about it is just disgusting. Asian Doll, she did beautifully. How she handled herself during that whole thing. Like she didn't have to be open to that for no reason at all. Like it was just just uncalled for altogether. Like, I don't really have too much to say because I don't want to stay on it too much because that's part of why they did it. They want people to have the light or to give them that light so they can become bigger, but that's not the way to do it.
I also think the thing right now is because everybody wants to be viral, and I'm pretty sure they meant what they said, but it's also like I feel like they knew that was going to get a lot of attention. So
100%.
Yeah, I mean, like people be talking about they know what's going to get attention and things like that. Especially after a while when you already got a few different videos going viral, it's kind of like you know what to say and what buttons to push for people. So I feel like they was doing stuff like that too. But yeah, it's crazy that they feel like that's okay or cool to do, and it's like, it's never okay.
Some people say any publicity is good publicity. So people just want to be out there because once you go to watch that one clip, more than likely you're gonna find something else on there of their stuff. You're gonna watch more, and eventually, now their views are up, even if it's for a bad reason. And to Biz's point about not want to talk about it, I agree. I don't want to talk about it to give it that light, but when they do it, then a lot of people, women in particular, kind of start grouping a lot of people together. Like all those people that got all these Black guys that got podcasts, they probably all out there doing the same types of things. And now people looking at us funny, like, oh, are y'all in the same boat as them? Like, you feel like even though it's not directly at us, we feel like we got to kind of defend ourselves. Like, nah, we're not connected to them at all. Like, we don't do anything like that. But you feel like you got to clear your own name because it's a movement now, like cancel Black male podcasts. Even though people are saying it jokingly some, but people are also serious.
Yeah.
And it just ruins the space that we trying to create and trying to grow into, and it's unnecessary. This is really unfortunate that's the society and that's the nature of what these young kids and young generation are doing now. It's quick. Everything is got to be right now. Got to be right now. What can we do to get to the top right now? And like everything is a process. You got to go through it. And what sucks too is that, like, for some companies that are bringing on podcasts to their platforms, it's not so much about the content anymore. It's the views and the numbers, and that's the bottom line. If they see those numbers spiking up and they see them views going up, then that's what they're gonna side with. They're not gonna really dive into the content too much until it's something real blatant and outrageous. So it's all right, we got to pull back. But at that point, it's already too late. The message was already said. It's already out there, and they're good. They got their bread. So at that point, it's a loss. So we try to do ours definitely, real wholesome and clean as much as possible, and hopefully that'll turn into something where we could go back and pull other people up. Like, all right, you don't got to do it this way. You can also do it the clean way and get what you want out of it. So,
yeah. Yesterday we was on with Courtney on her podcast. What is it? Sour Patch, right? Sour Patch podcast.
Yep.
And she made a good point. We touched on this a little bit. She was saying, like, whatever your preference is, that's fine. But if your preference is this type of person, then say your preference is this type of person. It's no reason for you to be saying my preference is not this type of person and you're trying to make Black women look crazy. Like, why do you need to say that? Just tell us what you like. That's your business.
Man.
Simple.
Just, I don't know, it's unnecessary.
That's first grade stuff. Like when you write your sentences on the one line, the one diagonal line. Like I like get straight to the point. Like you don't need to do. It's like it's unnecessary, yo. Let's get straight to the point.
Oh, your boy Nick Cannon out here wilding.
And it's so weird
Yeah, I
because
feel about it.
that should be an easy like segue into it should be like, oh, another black guy who's out here making us all look bad. But it seems like nobody cares. Like nobody cares about what Nick Cannon is out here doing. This guy has in the past what year and a half, he's had kids by how many different women? Like 3, 4? Like and
More than that.
nobody really says anything. Like it's in the news for a day, and then it's like, why do you think that we just don't care about the kid? Just because he's like he's corny, like nobody wants to say anything. Like, why don't we care? If it was another celebrity, a rapper, like I'm about to say a real rapper, but like a rapper that's like, you know what I mean? Or if it was a woman, of course we would be saying something about being this like with this many different people. Why does he get a pass?
I think it has to do with just the positive like aura that he brings, I guess. Like there's nothing in the years that he's been doing entertainment and everything, like the only bad thing that people have been able to say is that, oh, he's corny and he can't rap. And that's the only thing that has been out there. Like everything else has been super positive. Like I haven't seen one or heard one bad thing that he's been in the news about.
They did try to cancel him for that one thing. I'm trying to remember. He was on a show. He said something about white people. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was on his show.
But even with that one, I think it was blown. I don't think it was. I forget exactly what he had said, but if I can remember correctly, I don't think at the end of the day, I think people were siding with him and not the company. And they were happy that he, made it out of that situation.
Yeah.
But like that's the only thing I could come up that why people don't really. I could honestly 100% believe that if there was somebody out here in trouble with the law every other day or something like that, and they got kid after kid after kid, and with this woman after this woman, I'm 100% sure that it'll be an issue or people will be bringing a lot more. But at the end of the day, I mean, the basis of it, he's bringing life into the world, he's recreating, and
that's what it's about.
That's what life is about: recreating, bringing your kids in, and hoping they can make the world a better place. Then you brought up, then you came into it.
At this rate, a percentage of population gonna be connected to him.
Some form of fashion.
And the wealth that he got is changing generation after just because the more kids he brings, is just the generational and the financial gap is just gonna be tremendous for his kids.
Yeah, and I mean, I know he makes crazy money, I know, but I wouldn't want to be paying that much child support to all these different women. Like, it's gotta add up over time.
Maybe he's not paying child support.
Man, maybe he's probably just taking care of her. He gotta take care of. Cause I feel like when he's when he's having these kids, I don't feel like it's bad situations. Like I don't feel like he having a kid and they have a bad breakup. Like I feel like he might just be like, "Yo, you want to have my kid?" Like, like I feel like he just literally asking somebody like, "Yo, you want to have a kid?"
And the part two is that we don't like the women are all, from what I've been reading, they all seem to be like cool or at least,
doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he gotta be a real special dude to be able to pick out all women who are gonna go through this process and not at the end of the day be like, I want to get paid. Because most people in the industry that's around these type of people with money, at the end of the day, is gonna want to make something off of this. And the girl he's pregnant by now, I think it said that was Johnny Manziel's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever. So she's in that orbit. That's
not my boy Johnny Cash.
I mean,
not Money Manziel.
I don't know, but
I didn't know that one.
If he's able to have women that trust him like that, and he's able to have these arrangements, I guess go for it. But
and my brain would start. The word I was looking for was cool and cordial with one another. That's what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen any report or anything about like the women doing this or saying this or trying to extort or anything like that. They seem to be all like cool down to earth women that I guess align with what he's doing. And like I said, I don't think he's I mean, I don't know the man business. I don't want to know, but like, it don't seem like he paying child support. I think he's just there showing the father figure support that he's supposed to be doing. And I think
I just can't imagine that none of them have much out. Not one out of all of those women.
We haven't heard anything, so he's batting 1,000 right now.
I mean, you got NDAs, you got other stuff to keep people quiet. So it's just hard for me. But hey, maybe he got the juice like that.
Yo, Mariah haven't even said anything about him like wilding or anything.
Nate, how many kids they got? They got like 2, right?
Yeah,
they got 2
twins.
But that's a bit of a different situation because most of the situation is Nick Cannon's kind of here and other women are like career-wise, popularity-wise are a little bit here. Mariah is way up here. People still to this day don't know how Nick Cannon got one. So
yeah, neither do I, but he got her.
So if I'm Mariah, I might just like not want to be talking about Nick Cannon that much after I'm done. Like, no disrespect, but
he has to. That's the father of kids.
She don't got to be in the news talking about him or anything. Like they can handle whatever over here. Like
she don't.
But it must have been a good situation because I know they said she sued somebody for $50 million for wasting her time, like somebody she was dating.
Yo, that's so much, Brad. Yo, you just like yo.
And I think she won if I remember correctly.
It's Mariah, bro. She will every time Mariah step in my courtroom, she's going to win. I don't care what the situation is, bro.
As long as you get 10%.
10% off top. I don't care what it is, bro. You are going to win.
Silly.
Yeah, my man, he's doing his thing, man. I can't hold him, bro. Like,
yeah. And I think the other thing before we move on is that he's very open about how he views life and relationships, and it's not like he's also, to my knowledge, not like in relationships, like full on relationships with these women. So it's not like people could be like, oh, he cheated on so and so, he got a baby with so and so. Like, nah, he was clear, like, I'm involved with these people and I'm gonna have kids with them, and that's just that. So it's not like, it's less of a scandal than a lot of other people.
Yeah, I know recently, I think it was last month or 2 months ago, one of his sons had passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, you know, that could have something to play into it too, where he's trying to, like you're saying, like he's trying to recreate, and before his time is over on this earth, he's just trying to get, you know, he got bread, so like
that always helps, but
he ain't gonna stop.
A lot of people with money find it hard to stay out the tabloids, but whatever he's doing it right.
He's doing an amazing job.
And he do a lot of good things for people. Like it's a lot of people in the industry that he's helped with their career, like silently. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
a lot of people don't know about, like.
He do a lot of things silently. So yeah, overall, like he a good dude. So
yeah, I remember when after that incident with the show we were talking about, and I think they were trying to give Wildin' Out to like some of the other co-hosts to be the host instead when they wanted to get rid of him. And a few of them were like, nah, like he put me on, like I would never do that to him because he's always been like good to me. So
yeah, DC was big in that. I think they were trying to turn it over to him, and he was like, "You crazy? I would never go across the man that fed me. Like, he got me out here. Like, he got me out of a bad situation and put me on to where I'm making, you know, money. Like, I would never do that to him." Him, Jess, I think he played a big part in Kehlani's career. It was Kehlani.
Yeah.
And so many other, like, so like at the end of the day, if I can't rap, like, that's fine. But I'm out here doing God's work. I'm out here lifting up people. I'm taking care of people, putting them in better positions than they were, taking them out of shitty situations. So like, if that's the biggest flaw, bro, you got it. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about the Although Costa Rica is still one of my favorite movies. You know what I'm saying? I do that dance every once in a while, bro. You got to. It's classic.
I'm a big Drumline fan, so I mean, I get it. Silly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Al. My God, Al.
Classic movie.
Shout out to Chris and y'all too, friends of the show, man.
Okay. I don't know if y'all want to dedicate these last couple minutes to going from a guy who's doing everything right to a guy who always seems to be doing everything
Brother
wrong.
Yay.
What is he doing? Like, first off, do y'all think this whole situation, I forgot what's her name that he's with? I've been seeing him all over doing like
Julia Bond or something like that.
something like that. Do you think that's actually like a legit relationship, or is all this to get back at Kim?
That's all to get back at her. That's Kim's MO though. That's the family. That's the Kardashian way. Like they do their stuff through tabloids. They got the paparazzi always available. They got them on.
But it's like the Kardashians. They will have something in the news. They'll at least make it look like they got spotted by accident. Kanye, everything he doing, it looked like he set it up for the camera. Like,
that's the difference. Like
it's
he
photos
not doing it the right way.
In your hotel room. They dropping TMZ dropping photos in your hotel room. Just y'all two.
Like he not doing it the right way. Like, he definitely missed a step in the training process somewhere. But like, it's the same thing. It's just like, yeah, it's like Fanta soda and like Stars and Stripes soda. Like that's what it is, y'all.
Hey yo.
That's what it is, yo.
Oh,
it's Mountain Dew and Lightning Strike. It's messy. You know what I'm saying?
For the people in LA or on the West Coast, that's the off-brand soda. Cause I think that's like a only Easter. I ain't never seen those back out here.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real off-brandish. Like it's the same thing, same thought process behind it. It's just real bad. It just looks terrible. But I mean, he gonna try to get his family back by any means.
That moving across the street.
This ain't the means though. Like I wouldn't go about it this way.
Yeah, he wild for buying our house across the street, man.
Yeah, like I'm sure there was definitely a couple down the street or one around the corner that you could have, but you didn't have to buy it across the street.
That nigga bought the crib across the street. He just standing on his porch looking.
Like I know you got stuff to do, bro. You don't gotta be on the
porch. Man.
Sometimes it's just destiny. It was on the market, so take it.
Just had to take it, pull it up, right?
Yeah,
so now let me grab that.
Yeah,
it's trash though. Like she been throwing him some bail. Like, dude, like I'm trying to do this the right way. Like, I don't think they'll get back together. But you could at least get, try to work it out for the kids' sake, so they can have both parents involved. But like, he not. That's not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Love will make you do crazy things.
That part. Hopefully they figure out something, or he figure out something.
Yeah.
Oh, he gonna figure out something. Is it gonna be the right thing to figure out? Right, but he gotta do something else. Even with the birthday party situation, like, dude, like doing the IG live talking about it, nah.
Man, he eventually got in, right? Hey, gotta do what you gotta
do. Travis let
him invite him.
Travis slid him the address. So yo, pull up, cuz.
Ain't he signed to him? Ain't Travis on good music?
Is he?
I don't know.
I thought he was. Maybe they just did a lot of work together.
Yeah, Travis got his own problems right now. He got bigger stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
A lot more bigger stuff. Did any of that stuff get? I'm sure they get squared away yet, but did they talk?
I haven't heard anything in like a month or two about it. Sure,
so
stuff happening.
I know they had a lot of lawsuits.
Oh, definitely.
I just looked it up. It says over 10 billion in lawsuits.
Million? Oh, $10 million.
10 billion.
$10 billion. Crazy. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out in court and how much liability they say he personally has. Because I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it would seem like a lot of that liability shouldn't be on him. But once again, I don't know.
Yeah.
The details.
They're saying brain injuries, mental distress, bruises, heart attacks. Of course, a few people died, and
I think 9 in total. And I saw he did offer to pay for the funeral arrangements and stuff. And I want to say, if not all of them, most of them denied.
I saw people deny it.
Yeah, they deny it.
Yeah, their lawyers probably told them to do that, because if they would have took that, then it would have been looked at as a you doing this instead of trying to go through the lawsuits and everything. And also, I feel like, I feel like now it probably done turned into a class action lawsuit. So I feel like that number is so high because any and everybody was there probably trying to hop in on that lawsuit. And also, it's crazy to me because a lot of people at that concert weren't supposed to be at that concert. Like, people broke the fence and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have tickets. So it's like, how are they, you know what I mean? Are they getting in on that lawsuit too? And like, how is that going to play out? So the situation is crazy, man. It's
a lot to take into account because like you take in, like for start, like the festival itself brings in a shit ton of money between Travis Scott, the venue, merch, ticket sales. If they do sell food and beverage, like stuff like that, like parking, all that shit, like that those events bring in a shit ton of money itself. So like when you said like 10 billion, like that's a shit ton of money.
Yeah. I know Apple and Drake is in the lawsuit too. Like, they're getting sued as well.
But then where I was going with that. Oh, as far as the festival going, like when you see like clips of like the environment and the culture that he kind of like creates at those festivals, like when you said like people was hopping the gate and like breaking through and trying and getting in, like it did surprise me because that's kind of like what he kind of wants. He wants a mosh pit kind of vibe where it's just crazy, which is good when it works, but when it doesn't, it's really bad as we see it play out and see what happened.
But I don't know. Can you be liable for people breaking the fence and stuff like pre-show to get in? Like, that's unless you're telling people to do that. Like, how can you be liable for?
Not. I mean, I don't know if you tell so much time. I don't think it's so much comes to play where you telling people to break through the fence and all that. But it's the environment that you kind of control and create. But if you also don't pay for enough security and means to prevent that from happening, then I think that could play a part too. Because I did read somewhere or heard somewhere where I don't know if it was his camp or him or whoever I guess the city had put up a certain number for this amount of people, you need to have X amount of security and means in place to deem it safe enough to have. And I forget if it was him or camp or somebody, they got the ball and they didn't opt for those extra hands or security to be in place. So that right there causes an issue.
But as far as like capacity though, like, isn't that a venue issue, not an artist issue if they are able to go over capacity? I can see if stuff is happening and they didn't have enough security because they didn't do their due diligence. But the venue, usually what am I trying to say? The ability for people to get into a venue I don't think that's on the artist. Like, how you keep people in and out, that's like a venue thing.
I think they're in the lawsuit too, the venue.
But it does. I think it plays a part because if you talking to somebody like Travis who brings in so much money in a festival and to bring it into your town and your city, that's gonna help. Your city with financial means itself. So like having him be a headliner, him bringing in that so much money and telling him that he can't do X, Y, and Z, that kind of hurts your bottom line and what you need to happen for your city in terms of financial gain. So it's hard. That's what I think could be happening, where they felt it was hard to not have those extra money because maybe he didn't want him or who didn't want. I don't know what happened, but it's a lot definitely that has to play out to get down to the bottom of it. If us as consumers on the outside will ever get to see what exactly happened, but we do know that 9 people did lose their lives, and then a lot of people did get injured in whatever capacity that it was. It's it's a sad thing altogether all around. You don't expect to go to a concert or any event of your favorite artist, a player, or whoever, and not expect to come back.
Right. Definitely. So. And I think there's definitely fault by different entities, the venue, him, everybody else. I'm just trying to figure out like what his personal liability is as far as just because all of these other factors played a role, stuff that's out of his control. That's what I'm interested to see how much personal liability is.
But even a lot of things I've been reading, like they were saying like he does play a part in control a lot based on how his festivals and events go, like how they're just such a mosh pit mentality, so to speak. Like I know he had a lot of videos on his IG. You could go on YouTube and pull them up as look at Elder Festival. Just people just going fucking berserk. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he pulled all that stuff down off his IG. But it circles back to what we were talking about earlier. Like once something bad goes out there, it's out there forever. You could always pull up those links or that page or those videos. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, but even with all the craziness that he might try to get at his concerts, have we ever seen anything like this at one of his concerts before? Where mass injuries, death, all that stuff. Anything near it?
I haven't heard it.
So then I wonder, like, if this is a situation where you have potentially hundreds of extra people in the venue because you're pushing through the forces that are supposed to keep you out, does that not play a role in, like, I can control to a certain extent the craziness that happens with this amount of people, but now you're adding all these other people. Now you got hundreds more people trying to get out at one time. It's more likely for people to get trampled. It's like it creates more confusion for people that are in there that should have never been in. So that's just what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, it's definitely what I think about. Like I feel like there could be an argument made that he does have fault in that sense, but there could also be an argument that he doesn't have fault, just based off the environment that he kind of was creating at those shows prior to. Yeah. So it's hard, especially if I can see like if there was one or group of fans that were at a previous show and they, it was turned up to the max and it was getting crazy at one show and they can't get into the show, so they're gonna try to find their way to get into the show and create those issues. I could see that being a situation, and that could have been a situation in this particular case.
Yeah,
but I don't know, definitely a sad situation all around.
Yeah. Condolences.
He's definitely feeling the effects.
Yeah, we can wrap it up there. I don't know how we started talking about. We was talking about the Travis giving him Kanye the address.
Yeah, brother. His shenanigans and bled into that, but that's the world today. Everything's connected in some way somehow.
Facts. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, everything
definitely wild. Yeah, man, we can end it there, man. It was a good episode. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guys, Biz and Beans and Tills. Probably drunk somewhere off of mimosas, but it's all good. Get them up here next episode. Appreciate y'all always tuning in with us, and catch us next time. Peace.
All right.